But today I'm honored to introduce SB 1192, the Reclaim Act. This bill is critically important to me personally, but before I move further, I want to share a story about a woman, a victim, a domestic violence victim who was brave enough to leave her abuser, but her abuser spent years dragging her through the court system. Not only did she lose her business, she lost her home, and eventually she lost custody of her child because she couldn't sustain the cost of fighting her abuser in court. So again, SB 1192 is called the Reclaim Act because it really impacts someone's life when they spend years in court trying to be free of their abusers. So this bill simply states that before an abuser goes to court and takes their victim to court to drain them of their finances and their liberty and their mental calm, they have to go before a court to show reasonable evidence before a judge allows a perpetrator to move forward with the case. And what I learned personally is that right now the court system is not about justice, but it's about those that have the money to sustain the length of court cases and the cost. So I wanted to share a little bit about my personal story. I am a survivor of domestic violence. This does not just impact one person. It is widespread, and the data is clear. It impacts women at a larger number. Almost all victims are females. And again, because they have children and responsibilities, it makes it really hard for them to fight in court. So I, as a survivor, can share with you that it's been 10 years since my divorce, 7 years since my first restraining order, 5 years since my second, 5 months since my third, and 2 weeks since my abuser was deemed a vexatious litigant because we spent 5 years in court. And last year in December, the court cases hit $1.1 million. Doesn't mean I have money. It just means I have a good support system that helped me through it. But no victim should spend $1 million defending themselves. No victim with 3 restraining orders should ever go to court and have to fight their abuser. What happens is we tell victims all the time, we're here for you. If it's dangerous, walk away. But the reality is that the danger is not when they're in the relationship, is when they're out of the relationship, because abusers will use everything at their disposal to harass, intimidate their victims. And so this bill is very simple. It just says we need to allow victims to have a chance to breathe if their abusers come after them after they've left the relationship. It has to be reasonable. We're not saying they cannot sue if it's reasonable. But in my personal case, I spent 5 years only for a judge to throw it out to say that it was dismissed because it was frivolous. No one's going to give someone 5 years back, their time, their mental calm, their peace. And so I hope that victims out there that are going through this, I get calls every single day thanking me. This is not about one person. Please know that there's so many victims right now just drowning in legal fees, drowning in sadness because they've lost their children, their property, and their mental calm. So I want to say thank you to the Women's Caucus for prioritizing this bill, and hopefully victims will have a reprieve. I encourage all those listening, do walk away if you're in danger, and know that we're here to hear you, to see you, and pass legislation that will protect you.